Hello, my name is Navigator, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the AEW Unmatched Series 12 Roderick Strong figure. Now there's some good things and some bad things about this figure, I will say, but regardless, let's get into the review. Starting off with the box here, just a quick overview, and actually, I almost forgot something in there, folks. Whoa, that was almost really bad. There's actually another accessory that I almost left in here, so let's take that out real quick. Oof, good thing I take a look at the box beforehand. Good thing, or that would have gotten tossed out. Let me tell you that. So, ooh, that is actually really nice. I'm not gonna lie. So, with that being said, let's take a look at the rest of the box. It is a little bit damaged, but some of the other figures in the line, I will have reviews for Juice Robinson, Mercedes Moné, and I do have the Ric Flair. I showed it off in my Black Friday deals video, and I'm not going to be collecting the Moxley. I have the Supreme Edition. That one is far superior. But every other figure in here, I will have reviews of. So take a look out for those. And then just kind of an action shot of Roderick Strong on the back. All right, moving too fast here. Let's take a look at the figure. Again, with the good news and the bad news, kind of the good things and bad things, pros and cons. This figure is Roderick Strong from a previous gimmick, kind of that Adam, where it was like the whole neck strong thing, and he's wearing his glasses and all that. But you can take those accessories off and kind of have him as like the modern day part of the, the conglomeration type, like, what is their new faction called? Oh man, it's bothering me that it's slipping my mind, but it's kind of that, undisputed faction, let's say, with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. But you can just take all those accessories off and have it look like that. But before we take a look at the figure in depth, let's look at these accessories. Starting off here, we do just have a pair of normal glasses, and these are actually pretty nice. I might be able to throw these on maybe like a Bryan Danielson or a Taz or something, as opposed to Taz's sunglasses. So these are a nice little addition. Maybe even Tony Khan. I do have a Tony Khan figure. The other accessory that he comes with is actually going to be our first AEW neck brace, at least as far as I know, the first AEW neck brace. So that is really cool. And it's a little bit more of like a yellowish tan color as opposed to the WWE ones, which are just pure white. So that is really nice, and it is a little bit more firm, but it does still have that Velcro on the back, which is a little indiscreet, or a little bit covert. It fits in there very nicely, and that's a very good job on the part of Jazzwares. Next up here, something that is also good and bad because we know that these things do tend to stain, is going to be this really cool looking Roderick Strong hoodie. So you can see on the front here, you do have the Roderick Strong logo on the left breast, and then the kind of the lightning bolt coming down over the right. Nothing on the back, but it's not really too black. It's kind of like this like silver steel black or something, like graphite. It's a really nice color, but I do worry about this staining, so I probably won't be throwing this on the figure. It is really cool, though, I do have to admit. Before we go over the figure, I just want to show this off really quickly. This was the Roderick Strong that I was using for quite some time, probably over a year in my AEW setup. It was just a basic that I had. I didn't feel like it was necessary to go and buy the Elite version. It was just a little too out of my price range for what I needed them for, and thankfully, I've waited long enough to have the AEW version. So let's take a look at the figure. Starting down here at the bottom, he just kind of has these traditional black wrestling boots. Nothing too crazy about it. Moving up here to the knees, he has pure red knee pads with kind of this black, like, I don't know, spandex or at least just painting underneath there. And those are, of course, double jointed knees. Moving up to the trunks here, to kind of that same logo we saw on the hoodie with the Roderick Strong, like heraldry or insignia, and the little lightning bolt on that side. And then on the back, that lightning bolt is continued into the Strong logo. On the arms here, on both arms, he does have a black wrist tape and those Lego Man hands, like I said. Those are the only hands that he comes with. I'm not complaining. Like we saw in that Mercedes Moné figure, she came with just these hands, no like fists or open hands at all. So at least we got something with him. And then we also have just kind of a black elbow pad on his left arm. Moving up the torso here, nothing too crazy going on there. I think that the body mold works well for him. And then finally here, one downside about this figure. Number one, I feel like the eyes, for some reason, just make him not look like Roderick Strong. And I don't know, some of those age muscles or the crow's feet or whatever he's got going on there next to his cheeks, the smile lines maybe just make him look a little bit too old. From the side though, and I guess if you kind of just cover that up a little bit, it does look like Roderick Strong, I will have to admit. And one other thing, in order to fit the neck brace around him, they kind of had to make his neck a little bit larger, so he kind of has just a little bit longer of a neck than he really should. But like I said, from the side, it looks pretty good. And honestly, from the side, it looks like an AEW or Jazzwares version of LA Knight. You could get away with this being an LA Knight figure. That's crazy. I might throw that into the title. That's kind of funny. But yeah, he does look just like LA Knight. That is so funny. I never even thought about that. Wow. But there we go, folks. So a review of the AEW Unmatched Series 12 I'm just joking, Roderick Strong figure. And I have Kyle O'Reilly here to kind of have him go along. Adam Cole's on a bit of a hiatus now, so I'll have these two guys posed up in my my ring over here. But regardless, as always, folks, my name is Navigator. Have a nice day. Take care.